Welcome back to another Naruto Boruto Shinobi Striker video. Guys, I'm gonna show you every single build that I have, except for one. I'm gonna keep that one a surprise. I'm gonna show you against comp, casual, me just having fun, or anything in between. But before we even get into that, I urge you to go check out the description right now and even check out the pinned comment. You'll find a link to my Discord. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, great, another Discord that I'm gonna join that'll just die out. But listen to me before you just throw off the idea. I wanna create a Scrim type community where we can learn and get better without toxicity. Right now, I'm focusing on the PC community. I'll hit the PlayStation as soon as possible. But right now, if you're a PC player and you want to become better at Shinobi Striker, if you want to scrim and you want to become competitive, go ahead and join that Discord. Type in the general chat, GG Scrims. What this will do is allow me to see that you're interested in scrimming, and I will apply the GG Scrim role to you, where you get access to the private servers, the GG chat, and the voice channels. The goal is to scrim 2 times a week, so if you don't have many people to play with, now you will have at least 2 times a week if you join the GG chat, GG Scrims, and the Discord. Make sure you do, link down in the description, of course. And let's hop right into that video.
I might act rude. I lost gang members, I can't act cool. I got gang scriptures in my tattoos. I was running from the police in my trap shoes. Posted trying to flip 100, I come back.
We're going to start with attack, and we're going to start off with my big meta build, Uchiha Shuriken, which you can get from Shisui. You can get dynamic entry also from Might Guy, and then we can switch to Swift Step, which you can get from Shisui as well, and then we switch to Kodo Amatsu Kami, which is also from Shisui. Now, these are my big meta things here. If you want to look at what those jutsus do, I'm going to link my Shisui DLC video, but I'm going to use Chakra Claws, which again is meta. You get that from the Shinobi shop occasionally. Paper Bomb Kunai was also from the Shinobi shop eventually, but you can sub that out for Kunai. If you want to copy my skills, they're off to the right for each build. But hey guys, make sure you do put on Octohug for this fun build. It is from the Killer Bee DLC, which does give a defense negative debuff, which I really like. You know, it sets up some pretty cool combos. If you need to know about Karma Lynchpin and Strange Taste, I'll link my Kawaki DLC update video. But it basically allows you to suck up jutsus and charge your special gauge. And then we have Swift Step, which we've already talked about. I'll link Shisui's DLC update for you guys, so if you want more information about it. Next up, we have Karma Lynchpin Ritual Destruction, which is an OP jutsu. Next up, we are using an OP weapon in Asuma Ninja Knuckle Knife. As again, this is just for fun, and I try not to use that broken heavy combo. Smoke Bomb, again, is just to get that strange taste off, so I can suck up jutsu. My next build is the 2-for-1 special. I use it for flak and base. What it does is have Uchiha Shuriken from the Shisui DLC. Next up, it has my second favorite jutsu of all time, Sharingan, which allows you to use your substitution. So you'll have 2 subs, or even if you have multi, you'll have 3. It's really powerful. Shadow Clone Explosion from the reanimated Itachi DLC, one of the most powerful subs. And then we have Chroma Link mode, which allows you to get your jutsus back and gives you full health. Next up, we are using the Chakra Claws. I know a lot of people are like, what in the world are you doing, HD? But listen, Chakra Claws are pretty good for flag running and getting people off the base. I tried to use Asuma Knuckle Knives on here, but it was a little too toxic, so I nerfed myself a little bit, and now we're using Purple Lightning for that invincibility, or that strong arm, or that super armor. Highly recommend it. It was in the Shinobi shop a little bit ago. One of my favorite things to do with this build is, if I know I have Explosion Clone and I know I have Sharingan and I know the range has Majestic, I will push him, because most likely he'll use Majestic to get me out, but that's gonna harm him more than it'll harm me, because I'm gonna use that Sharingan, and then bam, he gets hit with that Explosion Clone. He doesn't know what to do, and now we can fight defenses basically by ourselves. Even though there's this guy here, it doesn't matter, because we're gonna still do us, and we have basically a third jutsu with Explosion Clone. Uchiha Shuriken has a unique ability that allows you to boost your attack evasion, so those Majestics most likely won't hit you, and you can use your Purple Lightning, Strong Arm, any base, so you can be a B tank even though you're an attacker. Now you can do these kills. Now we use Sharingan to, you know, just in case our combos do get interrupted, we can do whatever we need to do. Use that Explosion Clone as our third jutsu, and just in case he does throw out a Majestic right here, that did more damage than he could ever do to us, and now he's dead, picking what class he wants to do next. A lot of the times when you're playing with randoms, you have to make big money plays here. I'm going to use my Uchiha Shuriken, use that Explosion Clone to reset the base here. Watch that. Bam, they're both off the base. I'm going to reset B real quick. Now we have a full clock on it. I'm going to use Purple Lightning, so I can strong arm this range off the base, use my claws here, and, you know, just push him off. Hey, we're done with you, my guy. Now we're going to use that Uchiha Shuriken, reset him, and now he's good, gone back into the lobby. Chroma Link mode is hard to kind of comprehend sometimes. You kind of want to leave it up for a long time so you can get heals on your teammates, because it also heals your allies and you. But guys, also you kind of need some kills. So what do you do here? Do you leave it up? And if you have an opportunity, it's kind of just do it by ear. If there's a large stack on the base, go ahead and use it and GG's to your teammates, just like that guy. All right, that was about it for this build. Whoa, we can't show this build yet, HD. We can't show this build. Whoa, hey, that one's for a build video. This is my build for flag. I use Inferno Style Flame Lightning, which you can pick up from the Sasuke Boruto DLC. Now, what it does is basically pull somebody using Inferno Style and basically grab them. GG's in the chat. Next jutsu is Majestic Destroyer Flame, which most people know about, but it's from the Madara DLC. It is the most powerful fireball jutsu in the game. Next up is Time Space Hop, Sasuke, the most recent one, the last battle, and then Shikigami Dance Storm, which seals all jutsus, and it's from the Konan BR Master. Now we're going to be using the Kusanagi sword, so if you're not familiar with your Kusanagi combos, do get right with it. And if you need to look at any of the skills, they're to the right. Guys, also make sure you do put on the Sinbon, so we're using that ninja tool damage boost. This is by far the biggest meta build for rangers. It's one of my favorite. Destroyer Flame from Madara. It is the most powerful jutsu. And then next up we have Amaterasu from the Itachi VR Master. It gets rid of super armor and has major burns. Time Space Hop from Sasuke Boruto. Kamui Shuriken, most powerful DLC ultimate for Kakashi, and is super good for ranges. Next up, we need to talk about what we're using for our weapon, the Ninja Blade Uchiha, which is the same as the Kusanagi Sinbon, because we need to span that thing up, boy. I figured it was a good idea to showcase this build against randoms. You can use Amaterasu really far away, use Majestic to make them go away, but I will say I made a mistake here, because if you use Majestic after Amaterasu, it actually gets rid of those Amaterasu burns and replaces them with Majestic burns, which are not as powerful. But again, hey, this build is built for 2v1s, especially breaking Susanoo armors. We're going to use Amaterasu here, but again, he had rotation on. He's going to put those paper bombs down, and that's okay, because now it's just a 1v1. Again, he does have super armor, so we're going to kind of play on the edge here, kind of really see what we're going to do, and then use Sinbon, kind of give us space, because his ranges, we don't have much health, and we need space. I will say right here, I should use some Kusanagi combos, but it's hard when you have two people fighting at the same time. They're just going to mess up the combos. Majestic Destroyer Flame to the face always wins the day. Now we have that. We can block Dragon Flame Bombs, and they won't break our guards. So now it's a 1v1 at sea. I'm going to use Amaterasu to break that Susanoo ribcage. There you go. Now he has no super armor, and that's the biggest thing about this, is it breaks super armor, and that's what I like to see, and it's a 2v1 done in the book. Our next build is probably been the most talked about build of all time since it came out, and that is from the Nagato DLC Chikashoto, which boosts your ninjutsu damage and also makes you invisible for your Majestic Destroyer Flame, which is the most powerful fireball jutsu, probably the most powerful range jutsu of all time from the Madara DLC. Now we have Time Space Hop, which allows you to sup and be invincible. Now Takamazushi from Sasuke Boruto DLC, which is basically just a Susanoo with a Inferno style Chidori and hits you pretty hard. Now we're using the Kusanagi and we're using the Sinbon. Pretty prototypical. This next build is my secret sauce build. I don't even know why I'm giving it to you, but it's Lightning Shuriken Net, and then we're gonna use the Amaterasu. Listen, Amaterasu is the most underrated, most overpowered jutsu of all time. It's literally, it allows you to burn everybody inside. It allows you to take off super armor, and honestly, it stuns people. It's really great. And Reanimation's a very underrated DLC ultimate. I don't know why people do it, and people think, oh, Shisui Katana got nerfed. No, I use it because of Swift Step, and I can zoom towards people and drop kick them. That's why I use it, and Crimson Star's OP. This is my fun casual build with Hazan Strike, one of the most broken jutsus, and also another broken jutsu, Silent Strangle. Now we have Time Space Hop again, and I'm gonna use the Water Shark jutsu. I actually love this jutsu. If it doesn't kill you, you don't have any jutsus, which is pretty cool. I'm using the Crimson Giant Fan. Again, I just like the fan, and Lightning Release to, you know, just have fun. This is a fun build. My next build, and actually we're gonna have some gameplay with Hazan Strike, which is one of the most broken jutsus in all of Shinobi Striker. Uchiha Flame from the Obito DLC protects you and your allies on one hit. Time Space Hop is my favorite substitution in all the game, and Hit and Miss Jutsu is my favorite ultimate for defense. It gives you and your allies buffs and the enemy nerfs. Now for the weapon, I like to use the Twin Sword Hirakari. I know I can't pronounce anything, and for my Lightning Release, that's exactly what I'm going to use. I can't use Cooling Breeze on PC because it'll make everybody fatal. Uchiha Flame, and the timing of it is one of the most important. You always want to be the second person to Uchiha Flame, and I'll tell you why. Exactly, especially on the first scroll, you have to make sure that you're the second one. Because if you wait too long, if you do it too early, it could run out. People can just kunai it off, and you want to get that first scroll. It's like the most important scroll. The first scroll sometimes will play into the fact that you will get Gamabunta, Kirin, spam, and then it's just GG's, because then people start playing defensively, and then you just kind of basically beat everybody up. Now, this is my serious competitive. You teabagged me. We're using Kamui Climax, which allows jutsus to go through you and boost some stuff. 8 trigrams. If it hits anybody, you're taking all their jutsus and you block people off. Shadow Clone Explosion. It's one of the best explosions for defenses, especially on base, and a clone always needs to explode on base. Now, Hit and Miss Jutsu will go around the whole map and help your allies in their fights as well while you're taking over B and doing God knows what. But then, guys, I'm gonna be a bit toxic because this is our competitive. This is our scrim. This is our tryhard. We're gonna be using the scientific ninja tool Double Moon Sword. Now, again, we're gonna be spamming that triangle more than anybody than you've ever seen before, because we got Shadow Clone Explosion. As soon as we use that, we don't have to worry about subbing. Purple Lightning for that super armor, of course. This is our tryhard build, man. Okay, so I have 2 base builds. The one is 8 trigrams. Again, we want to take away their jutsus and send everybody flying. Beautiful. Now, snake thrusts. I also hit them after they substitute to send them flying. We call that dragon thrusting them away. It also gives you a little bit of health back, which is nice. Shadow Clone Explosion again from the reanimated Tachi DLC. We want everybody to go kabooey. Now, Hit and Miss. We want our allies to fight their 1v1s and hit and miss, so they get a buff and their enemies get a nerf. Now, I am using the Executioner Blade, which is a huge hitbox on this sword. It's ginormous, and that's what I like to see. Again, we're gonna go ahead and throw on Purple Lightning for the super armor. I would use Cooling Breeze, but it will crash the game on PC. Alrighty, guys, we're on our last class today. We're using Yasaka Beach, which is the most broken healer jutsu, and you can get that from the reanimated Itachi DLC. Highly recommended. Hey, you can hit anybody and it tracks super well. Cellular Extraction, I highly recommend that you put it on all your builds. It cures all status elements and is a burst heal. You get that from the Sakura VR Master if you're looking to become a healer. Next up, we're going to be using Time Space Hop. Guys, there's a trend here. I really just love that substitution. You need to try it out for yourself. Get that DLC just basically for that. Isanami is the most broken ultimate in all the game. It's a sleep, regeneration, everything above into one, and it kills, and it can turn the tide on every freaking game mode, man. Get it as soon as you can. For the weapon, we're going to be using the Scientific Ninja Tool Scattered Rain, the green one. I don't really like the newer one personally, and always have your heal stack tag too, because it's just too good, bruh. Our second build is my base build, which is Water Style Water Pillar, which is the most frustrating water type healer jutsu ever. It allows you to basically control the base. Cellular Extraction allows you to heal your allies and get rid of negative status elements. Now, we do have a different substitution, Shadow Clone, and it is the best healer substitution. I think allows you to get far away from anybody that is attacking you. I highly recommend that you do change your substitution to Shadow Clone Slug. Long Distance from the Tsunade DLC is actually really good. It allows you to give your ult gauge a boost to anybody that is your ally and completely heal them over time. This is the only build that I have the Sakura Naginata on. I just really love the heavy on this weapon. It's actually really good, and you can pick this up from the 1010 shop, Shinobi shop, whenever. Healing Steel, of course, again. All right, guys, here is that meta combat build that you guys all want. Light and Boulder to boost your ult gauge and the speed of you and your allies. It's a really useful jutsu from the Inoki DLC. But for our second jutsu, we'll be using Cellular Extraction, which is from the Sakura VR Master, which is a burst heal, gets rid of all negative status elements. For our substitution, we'll be using Shadow Clone Jutsu, which just subs you really far away, and it's a quick cooldown. Isanami is a really powerful ultimate for any type, but especially for healers. It can basically pitfall people, it can reset their jutsus and keep them stunned. I don't like to use the newer Scattered Rain weapon. I like this one. It has really great combos, and the triangle is really good. Also, don't forget to use that Healing Steel. It's OP. If you haven't caught on, I did all these builds by myself, but eventually I ran into some sweaty tryhards, and I'll show you guys how it kind of went down with this build by myself, like, with, you know, randoms. It is essential that you pop your Lightning Boulder as early as you can so you can charge it in just a little bit. I promise you right now, it'll work, because you want your little randoms and yourself to get that ultimate before they even have a chance to guess what's going on. But sometimes you'll get interrupted by over-aggressive attack types. Just regroup with your team immediately. Even though I have multiple DPSs on me, there's no excuse for not getting those heals out. Your team is relying on you to do your job. Yes, you're going to be a little bit panicky, but calm down. Control what you can control. You can't control that there's 2 people on you, so control your movement. Control how much you're panicking. Listen, if you panic as a healer, your team is going to panic without you. It's essential that you get those heals out as quickly as possible. Don't just throw them out blindly like I did. Sometimes you do have to make sure you use the terrain to run away from those people. Literally, I'm going going through the branches. I'm going through the area so I don't get punished like this. See, it'll make him drop his combo. I'll get real low, so maybe I can get that pitfall. But again, use the terrain to your advantage. Use your shadow clone because it'll place you behind them, and that is essential because it'll kind of confuse them. Izanami and staying near Gamapunta as a healer is kind of essential. So Izanami's pop on the first phase. The attacker is still being over aggressive. I can kind of maneuver around the terrain to make sure I'm not going to die here. So I pop that second phase, get 3 hits, and this right here is the first KO of the day for this fight. And that's really the point of Izanami and being a healer, is moving around, survivability, and doing your best, because hey, you can't control the battlefield. Here's our last first jutsu, Summoning Slug. What this does is you place it on a map or a barrier or wherever you need to place it, and allows you to heal your allies, but gives a negative defense debuff to anybody that touches the surrounding area of the slug. But guys, also a big thing about it is it will seal the jutsus of any people that you place it on. Then we have cellular extraction, which we already know what it does, then shadow clone, and then we have the beautiful slug long distance healing, and we're using scattered ring and our healing seal type 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop that like, and I'll see you in the next one.